I'm in the midst of reading Say You're One of Them.
Love that book!
So I highly recommend Kenya. He's a priest that writes about. Is he Nigerian? He's Nigerian. He talks at Loyola. No, the characters and most of the characters are Kenyan. I'm sorry. He's Kenyan and from Abidjan. Yeah. So he's writing things from like children's perspective.
Collection of short stories.
It's beautiful. And I cried.
It's a collection.
I've read like half and I cried every chapter.
Yeah.
It's so
good.
good.
Why didn't we have this like 2 weeks ago so I can order on Amazon and it'll be here for when I'm leaving?
I'm reading 3 books currently, which is because sometimes I get bored and I switch from book to book. So I'm reading The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born, which is it's a Ghanaian novel. I forget how to say his name properly. It's kind of how the Ghanaian, I think there was a coup d'etat. It was kind of like about the military coup d'etats in Ghana and how that worked out. And then I'm reading King.
I'm sorry. Is it historical fiction?
It's fiction, but it's kind of like half of Yellow Sun, but it came out a long time ago. Okay. And then I'm reading King Leopold's Ghost, which is about King Leopold, the King of Belgium, and how he started the whole involving himself in the Congo and started chopping off arms and the rubber business and how that started with Firestone. When Firestone first started in Europe, it was influenced by the rubber cultivation in the Congo and how that really effed them up till today. And then the 3rd book that I'm reading is I Do Not Come to You by Chance, which I really feel like I would recommend to anyone. That book is hilarious. Her name is Trisha Adobe. I forget her last name. It's about 419 culture in Nigeria. But that book is so funny. It's the funniest African novel I've ever read in my life.
I'm reading The Thing Around Your Neck. I just downloaded it, so I just finished Cell 1. So Cell 1 is the 1st chapter. Yeah. So going on.
You downloaded it on your Kindle?
On my phone. Yeah.
Really?
So I read, because my phone is so big, I have the, not that I'm trying to, endorse anybody, but this is my phone. I just read on here and like when I'm in the train.
Yeah.
But I also want to read Things Fall Apart again, because I don't feel like I appreciated it as much the first time.
I recommend
your copy.
Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and then reading Things Fall Apart. And I really feel like that would open, because I almost felt like Things Fall Apart was a response.
Just finished Americana. I was reading it in the subway and I'd have to stop myself from like getting up and just randomly clapping. I think she described racial aspects of living in America from a point of view that's never been explored before. And of course I identify with that point of view, so I really like the story because of that. I felt that her characters were just these people who were there and you never really knew why they did things, and they were just, to me they just seemed like the tools she used to give a commentary on race and hair, and I don't think they were really, I don't think there was a story like there was in half of Yellow Sun.
I'm reading, or I'm going to start reading next, Taye's Ghana Must Go. I like the name. And I think this is one of the books where like, although people say don't judge a book by the title, this is one of the books where the title is definitely very jumping. So that's my name.
When I first saw that book, I was at Newark Airport. I was just got off a flight. I'm rolling my bag, and I just turned and I saw the story. Ghana Must Go, right? And I just quickly went over there and just looked. I picked it up and said, someone wrote a book called Ghana Must Go. Yeah, and I was, all right. When I get home, I'm gonna look it up.
Hold on.
Coincidentally, both of us went for the book reading of Ghana Must Go. So, so it is a book that I started reading too, and I haven't finished. I'm currently also reading Americana, Chimamanda's new book, but I'm also reading Dead Aid.
Oh man, I love this, man, that there's sort of like, I have to keep up.
Right.
This feeling of I have to really keep up and just make sure that.
Because people keep recommending stuff to me and I'm like, I have to be reading all of them because I know if I say I don't have time, I'm never going to read it.
You're never going to read it.
Right. So I just read a little bit, and keep going.
What are you reading?
So I've been on after Chinua Achebe's death, I had to go and reread pretty much all of his books. Chinua Achebe he means a lot to me because I just feel like my understanding of who I am as an Igbo man, I wouldn't say they were framed by his books because obviously I grew up in an Igbo household, and, but but I also grew up in Lagos, right? And I only went to the East for holidays. I've started rereading his books since his death, and I'm now on The Education of a British Protected Child.
I read that.
So
excellent book.
I'm reading that right now. I just finished Ghana Must Go, by the way.
I can't read.
And then I'm going to be reading Hopes and Impediments after that, which is Chinua Achebe as well.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That just going back, I went and bought some years ago, bought all his books, and I think it's actually a good exercise to go back, and that's another conversation we have to have, right, on what Chinua Achebe means or meant to those of us that have read his work and what he means for Nigeria, not just Nigerian literature, but just Nigeria in general and Africa by extension. For me, I'm reading Leila Abuleila's book Minarat. She's a Sudanese, and I was introduced to her in a collection of short stories, the Granta book of short stories, where they just took all these short stories from different writers across the continent.
A lot of us grew up in Nigeria, and it was like, you're a science student.
Right.
Yeah.
You do science. And this guy was a different kind of science student.
Yeah.
He was a mathematician, but yet he was engaging with literature, engaging with politics, engaging with philosophy.
Yes.
You know, look at him throwing Voltaire and all these things out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
how do you know of all this and you're a mathematician?
Yeah.
You know, and it was a charge to me, you know, and it was like, beyond just your own sphere of what you do,
be well-rounded.
you have to be a human being.
Right.
A citizen of the world, as it were. But you have to engage on all sides. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, one of the scientists that I really love, he says, you know, going into the 21st, 22nd century, we all need to be scientifically literate.
Yeah.
I think for us in Africa, we need to go beyond telling our children to be scientifically literate, but socially and civically literate. You know, engage with literature, engage with history, engage with philosophy, and become part of the narrative.
Right,
you know? And I think that's very important, you know, from a
It's a great point.
So,